Hello, dear learners. Welcome to the first session on Introduction to A.K. Ramanujan, the poet who has written the poem Of Mothers Among Other Things. And in this session, we are also going to have a brief discussion on the glossary in connection with the poem. The poem Of Mothers Among Other Things is written by A.K. Ramanujan. His full name is Attipet Krishnaswamy Ramanujan. He was an Indian poet and scholar of Indian literature who wrote both in English and Kannada. He was not only a poet, he was a scholar, psychologist, folklorist, translator, and a playwright as well. His academic research ranged across 5 languages. They are English, Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, and Sanskrit. Though he wrote in number of genres, his poems are well remembered as enigmatic works of startling originality, sophistication, and moving artistry. Now let's know about his childhood. Ramanujan was born in Mysore on 16 March 1929. His father, Attipet Krishnaswamy, was an astronomer and a professor of mathematics at Mysore University. He was well known for his interest in English, Kannada, and Sanskrit languages. And Ramanujan's mother was a homemaker, and he had a brother called A.K. Srinivasan, who was a writer and a mathematician. Now let's know about the education of A.K. Ramanujan. Ramanujan was educated at Marimallappa's High School in Mysore, and he did his graduation in Maharaja College of Mysore. In college, Ramanujan majored in science in his freshman years, but his father persuaded him to change his major from science to English. Later, Ramanujan became a fellow of Deccan College, Pune from 1958 to 59 and a Fulbright scholar at Indiana University from 1959 to 62. He was educated in English at the University of Mysore and received his PhD in linguistics from Indiana University. As far as his career is concerned, Ramanujan worked in many of the universities in South India as well as the universities in the US. Ramanujan worked as a lecturer of English at Quilon and Belgaum. He later taught at Maharaja Sayajirao University in Baroda for about 8 years. In 1962, he joined the University of Chicago as an assistant professor. He was affiliated with the university throughout his career, teaching in several departments. He taught at other US universities as well, including Harvard University, University of Wisconsin, University of Michigan, University of California, and Carleton College. A.K. Ramanujan has written many major works. Some of them have been mentioned here. The Interior Landscape, Love Poems from a Classical Tamil Anthology was published in 1967. And the work Speaking of Shiva was published in 1973. The Literatures of India was published in 1974. And the work Hymns for the Drowning was published in 1981. Poems of Love and War was published in 1985. And he has published Folk Tales from India, Oral Tales from 20 Indian languages in 1991. And he has written an essay named Is There an Indian Way of Thinking? And that essay was published in 1990. In addition to this, he has translated a famous novel, Kannada novel of U.R. Ananthamurthy, Samskara, into English, and he titled the novel as Samskara, A Rite for a Dead Man. In addition to this, he has published many collections of poetry. Some of them have been mentioned here. The Striders, the collection of poetry, was published in 1966. Relations was published in 1971. And another collection of poetry called Selected Poems is published in 1976, for which he got the Sahitya Akademi Award. Mattu Itara Padyagalu and Other Poems was published in 1977. The second site was published in 1986 and the collected poems was published in 1997. A.K. Ramanujan has got many awards in his life and career. He was awarded the Sahitya Academy posthumously in 1999 for his collection of poems, The Selected Poems. In 1976, the Government of India honored Ramanujan with prestigious Padma Shri, one of its highest civilian awards for his significant contributions to Indian literature and linguistics. In 1983, he was awarded the MacArthur Prize Fellowship. As an Indo-American writer, Ramanujan had the experience of the native as well as foreign milieu. His poems such as The Conventions of Despair reflected his views on the cultures and conventions of the East and West. A.K. Ramanujan died in Chicago on 13th July 1993 as a result of an adverse reaction to anesthesia during preparation for surgery. Now, after discussing the life and works of A.K. Ramanujan, we will briefly look at the glossary part in connection with the poem. In the poem, we get to see many new words which have been symbolically used. So it is better for us to understand them before understanding the poem. The word blackbone tree is used by the poet in the poem to indicate the old and aged mother of his. Here the blackbone tree is a tree which is bent or twisted. As you can see in the picture, it is just an example for blackbone tree. It has been bent and twisted because of its old age. Here the poet has not used this word as a noun but as an adjective to indicate the qualities of old and twisted, and compares his old mother to blackbone tree in the poem. So in this poem, the poet uses the word blackbone tree as an adjective, and he compares this blackbone tree with his aged, old, twisted mother. The other word that we see in the poem is rags. Actually, the rags means a piece of cloth, especially one torn from a large piece or a tattered cloth like this. The poet uses the word rags not in connection with the cloths, but he refers the word rags to the empty spaces on the tree or the patches on the tree. Patches here are referred to the empty spaces which are not covered by the branches or leaves of the tree. And the poet uses this word to indicate that the raindrops which are falling were sowing and tacking and sowing the patches of the rags of the tree. So in that sense, the poet used the word rags. The other word that we see in the poem is crippled. Crippled means severely damaged. Here, the poet uses this word crippled to indicate that one of the fingers of his mother has been crippled or severely damaged while setting a trap for the mouse in the garden. We also see the word tack and sew in the poem. Here, tacking refers to a long stitch used to fasten fabrics together temporarily, like these. These kind of stitches are called tacking or tacks. Sew is used as a stitching or a kind of stitching which join or repair or fasten by making stitches like these. The poet uses these two words not in connection with the cloths or stitching the cloths, but he uses these words to refer to the falling raindrops which look like tacking and sewing the patches or the rags of the tree, patches on the tree or empty spaces on the tree. So here the poet uses these words in connection with the rain, or those raindrops are broken threads, he says. The rain was trying with its broken threads to tack and sew the empty spaces on the tree or the patches on the tree. In that sense, the poet uses the word tack and sow. Again, the poet uses the other word tassel in a symbolical way. Here actually tassel means finishing features in fabric or clothing. Okay, they look like these, or loose dangling threads at the end of a cloth. And tassels are often used as decoration along the bottom of garments, curtains, saris and other hangings. Actually here also the word tassel is not referred to the actual tassels, which are a loose dangling threads at the end of a cloth. But the poet uses the word tassel. Tassel tree, the phrase he uses is tassel tree. Here the poet uses the word tassel to indicate or to refer to the raindrops which were fallen on the tree, looked like or appears like the tassels, or tassels, or we can say here the word tassel is referred to the raindrops fallen on the leaves of the tree, and those raindrops, dripping raindrops, created an impression of created an appearance of tassel. In that say he uses the word tassel. One more word that we get to see in the poem is crinkle. Crinkle means creased or folded. In Kannada we say sukku gattida athwa sukku we say. Here the poet uses the word crinkle in connection with the 2 feet of the eagle, and he compares these 2 wrinkled feet of eagle to his old mother's hand, which have been crinkled. In that way, the poet uses the word crinkle in the poem. The poet uses the word talon in the poem. Here the talon refers to the claw of an animal, or especially of a bird of prey like an eagle. You look in the picture. This is one of the feet of an eagle, and these are referred to as talon, and these talon are compared to the fingers of his mother, and the poet says that one talon of his mother has been crippled, has been damaged. So he means to say that here talon, the word talon is referred to the fingers of his old mother. The one more word which is used in the poem that we should know the meaning is parchment. Parchment is it is something which looks like this. It's a stiff, flat, thin material made from the prepared skin of an animal, usually sheep or goat, and used as a durable writing surface. Parchment has traditionally been used instead of paper for important documents such as religious texts, public laws, land records, etc., as it was considered strong and stable material. So this is a writing material, just like how we use the paper for writing something. In earlier days, traditionally people used to write the text or public laws or records on the parchment like this. This parchment is the skin of the animal, especially sheep or goat. You can see here in the picture something has been written in the parchment. And in the poem, the poet uses parchment tongue, the phrase parchment tongue, to indicate that he felt sad, or his tongue became dry and rough all of a sudden when he saw his mother picking up a grain of rice from her kitchen floor. Here the word parchment tongue is used to refer to his emotion, or his sad feeling in the poem. We also get to see the word bark in the poem. Bark is the outermost layers of stems or roots of woody plants. You are seeing in the picture. This is called bark, the outer layer of the tree. And the poet, here as in the poem, the poet uses the word bark, to indicate how his tongue felt stiff and rough as if he was licking a bark of a tree. And here also the poet uses this phrase or word bark or licking the bark to indicate that he was moved by seeing his mother, okay, and by seeing her commitment towards life, or by seeing her, how she minded the affairs of life even at her old age. The poet also uses the word flex in the poem. Flex here, bend or curve or crook. So when we bend our fingers, then we say it to be flex or flexed. The word is used to indicate the mother, she bends to pick up, or she flexes her fingers to pick up a grain of rice on the kitchen floor. In that way the word flex is used. Now let's recapitulate what we have learned so far. In this session we have learned that Attipet Krishnaswamy Ramanujan was an Indian poet, scholar of Indian literature who wrote both in Kannada and English. And we have also learned that he has written in 5 languages such as English, Kannada, Tamil, Telugu and Sanskrit. And Ramanujan was born in Mysore on 16 March 1929. And he did his education in Mysore until his graduation. After that, he pursued his PhD in linguistics from Indiana University. He taught in India as well as in many US universities such as Harvard University, University of Wisconsin, University of Michigan, University of California, and Carleton College at the University of Chicago. And Ramanujan was awarded the Sahitya Akademi Award posthumously after his death in 1999 for his collection of poems, the selected poems. And he was also honored with the prestigious Padma Shri Award in 1976, and in 1983 he was awarded the MacArthur Prize Fellowship. He is an Indo-American writer, and he had the experience of native as well as foreign milieu. A.K. Ramanujan died in Chicago on 13th July 1993 as a result of an adverse reaction to anesthesia during preparation for surgery. Thank you.